payroll, just payroll now, would be $684,569 for 4 people on a shift. Now, wait a minute, though. That's only the salary. We've got to think about health insurance now. As a village mayor, I know that the insurance is running anywhere from $800 to $1,000 to $1,200 per month for a person that's on family coverage. So just for the sake of a number, I threw in the $800 number. Healthcare insurance would be $153,600 for a 16-person paid department. We're not over yet. We've got holidays. Every time a guy works a holiday or a woman works a holiday, they're getting their hourly rate at time and a half, plus they're getting the 8 hours of holiday pay. There's average of 12 holidays per year. So that's 96 hours of additional pay for each holiday. That total came to $35,544. If you take all these numbers and you add them up, the salary, $684,569, the insurance, $153,600, and the holidays, $35,544, you come up with $873,714.56. Now, I know in Mayville, our fire department operating budget is about $63,000 a year. That doesn't include everything, because some of the things we take on as a village responsibility, where some of the smaller departments have different things that they cover, but we break it up differently on a village budget. So $63,000 is like $810,000 less than what it would have to pay to have a paid fire department. So my point of all this is to tell you that the cost of having a volunteer fire department is priceless. And for those of you that are any kind of elected official or anybody out there that may know somebody that is, I challenge you to find a better group of people that will do more for little to nothing other than an annual banquet, a pat on the back, and just to have the camaraderie of a volunteer fire department. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to the volunteers that put this together. I want to thank Chautauqua Suites for giving us the opportunity to have this gathering. And a thanks to Janet and Tom and everybody else that had a hand in getting everybody here tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Marty. Our next speaker is going to be John Staley and Norma Cummings from the Department of Emergency Services. They've got a presentation for you on the development of their new office and what's going on the Hill. So I'd like to turn it over to John Staley.
That was excellent, Mayor. Thank you. That was impressive numbers. But I'd also would just like to thank Mr. McConnon and his staff for this. This is probably one of the nicest shows of appreciation that I've seen for our emergency responders that I've seen in the fire service. And so it's a very nice gesture. When we talk about Chautauqua County, the cooperation is something we really take for granted. We've actually had when you talk about sharing of services and mutual aid agreements and things, in the fire service in Chautauqua County, we've had a mutual aid agreement since 1956. And I think so often we're ahead of the curve in a lot of things with government when they just start talking about it now in 2009 and some of these things. And the cooperation between all the different agencies is just outstanding. You know, we see a lot of things throughout the state and throughout the nation, and we've all seen it on TV, and we analyze a lot of these disasters, and I really think sometimes we'll talk to ourselves and we'll think, what is the big problem? Why can't they get that done in some other places relatively close to our county? And it's because they just don't have that attitude of cooperation between fire, police, EMS, and DPWs, and governmental officials. And we just, I think, have, in Chautauqua County, just a very unique area where that cooperation is just outstanding. When we started especially after 9/11, we had a lot of things put upon us. Even here in little old Chautauqua County, there were a lot of responsibilities put upon us and things that we had to develop, coming down from the federal and the state government. And I remember just actually in 9/11 when Charlie Smith was fire coordinator and emergency services director, when that happened, he called me and he says, I want all the fire coordinators to come to Mayville. We got to open up an emergency operations center. And I said, I'm thinking, why would we have to do that way out here, the farthest county from New York City? Why would we have to do that? And when we got going, and when at that time it was just fax orders that we were receiving, but it was an amazing thing what we were being charged with way out here. For example, they thought that there were a lot more people killed than what there were, or injured. And they were asking us questions like, how many different types of beds do you have in your hospitals? How many motel rooms and beds do you have? How many people can you put up? Because they thought they were going to probably give us about 300,000 people. So, those things that we were getting charged with just caused us to think out of the box so much. And that's what we've been doing the past few years, ever since 9/11. And in Chautauqua County, because we have that great cooperation between all the different agencies, we've really been a name that people know of, even in the bigger metropolitan areas. And an example of that would be our work with our hazardous materials team, and that we've had one of the first ones around. And the things that we've been charged with now, and the equipment that we have that's been given to us by the federal government and whatever, we started acquiring all this massive amount of high-tech equipment that the federal government and the state government was charging us with, and different types of equipment that we needed. So we really had to start thinking out of the box. And we needed a county facility. The county didn't have the kind of money that to develop a brand new place like that. It would cost, I was talking to Julius Leone before this presentation, and he said, when he was estimating, it would be $4 million when you try to build something new. But yet, through cooperation of the Office of Emergency Management and Julius Leone and people like the town of Chautauqua people and the village of Mayville and the Chautauqua County Legislature and the county executive, everybody put their heads together, and we came up with what now is a state-of-the-art, very nice facility that we used and took advantage of an existing structure. A school is a very well-built structure, the older schools. And so what we did was we took the west wing and we made that into our classrooms, our EOCs, that through a combined effort of grants and the county radio shop and people like that, putting those things together, we have state-of-the-art equipment in there in which we can train people. We have computers. We can have real-time video being shot back, transmissions being shot back from scenes. And so we have a complete emergency operations center. Then, along with that, we have accommodated areas within that EOC for all the different agencies that we work with. So the RACES, the radio operator people, Salvation Army, Red Cross, I know I'm leaving some out, but all those agencies, we can work together when they have positions at the EOC. So when we have that disaster, and granted it may not be terrorism, we hope it wouldn't be, but if we have that tornado or that flood or whatever that may be, we can now open that up, have all those agencies come there and open up our operations center. And it's really a thing of beauty to see. And we encourage you, if you ever have not been